Welcome back. Let's now have an example on lists and tuples. We have a list of tuples. The list is grades, and each tuple has 4 elements. The first one is the subject name. The other 3 are integers concerning the grades of this subject. So let's have a separate tuple of grades only. So we will write a for loop here for subject in grades. The counter of the grades here will be subject, and grades is the list of subjects. Let's separate the subjects in a tuple called subject grades. So we have subject underscore grades equals the counter subject and have the index from 1 till the end. Now to make things clearer, let's have subject name here, another variable called subject underscore name, just write subject name, equals subject, between squared brackets, the index 0. This means for each counter subject in the list of grades, so we have subject here equals 0, subject here equals 1, subject here equals 2, and for the Arabic, the whole tuple has the subject equals 3. The subject name in each counter of the tuples has the index 0 and gives the subject itself. For subject grades, if we start counting for each tuple counted by subject from index 1 till the end here, then we will form a tuple of subject grades. Still, for each tuple of subject grades, let's compute the average of the grades inside. So we have another variable called average equals sum of subject grades. We will sum all elements in subject grades and divide the sum by the length of subject grades. So divided by len subject grades. Of course, len subject grades here is 3. To collect all these averages in a list, let's define a list here before the for loop, list of averages. Equals an empty list now, and let's append here list of averages dot append average, and let's print this list of averages. So have between quotations here list of averages, and outside the quotation a comma, and list of averages again. Let's have a run here. The list of averages is printed after each for loop. For the first subject math, the average of these grades is 84.33. For another run for the for loop, using subject increased by 1, the average of grades of science is computed and added or appended to list averages. Here we are, and so on. So it is quite reasonable to have the print list of averages outside the for loop just to be printed once. So we have our shift tab here. One other issue is these decimal points. So let's have a round of average 2 decimals. So let's here append round bracket average to decimal points, and let's close our bracket here. Let's have another run now. It will give a much clearer and neater output. Each average here is approximated to 2 decimal points. Now we need to select this top average, 97.67. So we need the maximum of the list averages. Let's have it here. A new variable, let's call it top average, equals the maximum of the list averages. And let's print it. We need the index of this grade or this average here, which we expected to be 0, 1, 2. We expect it to be 2. To get out the index here, let's have another new variable called index of top average. So let's write index underscore top underscore average. It is equal to list of averages dot index, and let's have between brackets this maximum of list of averages. Maximum of list of averages. And let's print here the index. So we have print the index of top average between quotations here, and have our comma, and again print. Let's have this on a separate line and have another run here. Yes, the top average is 97.67 and the index is 2 as we expected. Now we need to point out that this 97.67 of index 2 belongs to the English subject here. So going back to the list of grades, we will have 2 square brackets for 2 different indices. The first one of them indicates the index of the whole tuple. The second one will indicate the index of the first element, which gives English. Let's have it here. Let's have a new variable called top subject name. Top subject name. This is equal to grades, the list grades with the 2 indices following each other. The first one gives the index of this tuple, which is index of top average. Index of top average. The second is 0 to point out the first element, top subject name. And let's print it here. Print between quotations top subject name, have our comma, and print the value of the top subject name. Having a run here, yes, the top subject name is English. Let's have a colon here. Now we need to advise the user for the faculty he should enter. Referring to the top subject name here, if the top subject name is math, he'll enter Faculty of Engineering, say. If it's science, Faculty of Science, English, Faculty of Arts, English Department, and so on. We will do this advice using three different methods. First, the if condition. Second, the while loop. And third, the for loop. So let's start by the if else. Let's have here our advice using if condition. If top subject name is equivalent to or equal to math, have our colon at the end, and print Faculty of Engineering is best for you. Have an elif, shift tab, elif, top subject name is equivalent to science. Have our colon here, and let's have a print repeated. Faculty of Science is best for you. And let's have here our third subject, which is English. And Faculty of Arts, English Department. And let's have our else for the last subject. Shift tab, else. And print Faculty of Arts, Arabic Department is best for you. Let's have a run here. Yes, top subject name is English, Faculty of Arts, English Department is best for you. So let's now delete this and have our advice using the while loop. Advice using while loop. Let's have a couple of faculties here. So a variable faculty with 4 faculty suggestions. Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Science, and so on, each corresponding to one of those tuples. Let's have the first element in each tuple appended in a list to give the list of subjects. So let's have here subject list, a new variable here equals an empty list in which we will append the first element of the subjects. For subject, the counter subject, in the list grades, subject name equals the counter subject with index 0. And let's append this subject name to the subject list here. So we have subject list. Let's choose it from here. Dot append subject name. And let's print the list here outside the loop. Shift tab, print subject list. And let's have run here. The subject list here is Math, Science, English, and Arabic. Now remember, we have our top subject name here, which is English in our case. And we have a new variable here for faculty. We want to test if the top subject name is equal to one of the elements in this list of faculty. So let's have while counter less than 4. While introduce counter, a variable, and let it be less than 4. As long as this while is fulfilled, we will do the following. We will test if top subject name is equivalent to our subject list of index counter. Have our colon, and we will print here using the F string. Have our quotations, our placeholder, faculty with the index counter, outside the placeholder, let's continue, is best for you. Yes, we can conclude that the code is much more compacted. And let's increase our counter here by 1, just to continue. Counter equals counter plus 1. Of course, the program here has counter underlined, giving a guide to us that counter wasn't defined before. Let's have here counter equals 0. That's for our start. And let's have a run. Yes, after giving the list, Faculty of Arts English department is best for you. So it works very well. Let's have another method using for loop. So let's delete all this and have the for loop, a new method. Using for loop, we still have our list of faculty, and let's introduce a counter here. We need a counter. Let's have a counter equals 0, and let's start a for loop just to go over these tuples. So for subject in grades, let's put our if condition, if top subject name, if top subject name is equal to the first element in subject. So we have subject between square brackets 0, and we have our colon here, then print. Let's use the F string, quotations, placeholder, and we will select our faculty here using the counter. So let's write here faculty with the index counter. Outside the placeholder here is best for you. And let's increase the counter by 1 here, outside the if condition. Counter equals counter plus 1. Let's have our run here. Yes, top subject name is English, and it's selected Faculty of Arts English department is best for you. This concludes with our list of tuples.